a time in every sitcom actress's life when she is faced with the prospect of writing a book. When Ellie Kemper's number was up, she was ready with her autobiography, My Squirrel Days. And yes, I did read this off the book jacket. Now you all are probably wondering, why did she call her book My Squirrel Days? In a never-before-seen nature documentary, narrated by Her Royal Excellency, Lord Edgar Darby Covington, 14th Earl of Cornwall-upon-Thames, 29th Baron of Hertfordshire. The public can witness Ellie Kemper before she was a comedian, before she was a receptionist at a mid-range paper supply company, before she was a bridesmaid, and before she was a bunker cult victim. Witness Kemper in her truest form. A squirrel.
The open fields. The lush plateaus. The alluring culture. An exotic land inhabited by creatures great and small. And home to the most elegant, the most graceful, and most mysterious creature. The squirrel. This is the American Midwest. Today, we explore one peculiar squirrel. We will call her Ellie. The documentary crew feverishly documented her short-lived journey through the wilderness of Kansas City, Missouri. Missouri is inhabited by 4 species of tree squirrels: the fox squirrel, the gray squirrel, the red squirrel, and the southern flying squirrel. This particular squirrel most resembles the red squirrel with its trademark red-colored fur. But Ellie is not like other red squirrels. First, she lacks the peripheral vision of most squirrels due to her excessive amount of whiskers that block her sight. Her daily caloric intake consists of thousands of more calories than her counterparts. Her teeth are too soft to break the shells of acorns. Ellie does not have the agility nor the endurance required to escape predators. It is amazing she is still alive. This may be due to her uncanny connection to the human world and the natural world. Her ability to commune with nature developed after observing Sigourney Weavering gorillas in the mist by hiding in the viewing room of a residential home. Learning from the behaviors of the primatologist, Ellie is able to adapt and bend nature to her will. She has the ability to summon birds and command them to call to her by simply shifting her position. She is content and healthy. As autumn wears on, life for Ellie becomes more difficult. Not because food becomes more scarce or the weather becomes colder. Her abilities to connect with the human world also make her susceptible to the struggles of human interaction. Depression and loneliness cause Ellie to become more inactive. Ellie adapts again and attempts to befriend a gray squirrel. We will call her Natalie. It is common for squirrels to travel in pairs or groups, but Natalie was always alone. Ellie attempts to form an alliance with Natalie with an offering of food. A bold tactic by Ellie to expend energy finding food that she will not consume, but a smart one. Natalie is the most plump of the squirrels, and Ellie knows food will surely win her over. Late in the afternoon, Ellie picks berries and sets them by a rock. She waits for an hour. Natalie does not show. Ellie moves to the creek to try again. She moves onto a tree overlooking the creek and takes hold of a vine. The vine snaps. Ellie freely falls straight into the creek. She is still for a few minutes. Soon, her head emerges from the leaves with no fractures or lacerations. Suddenly a screech is heard throughout the forest. Natalie is perched on a rock by Ellie. Her haunched back and bared teeth indicate she is hostile. Ellie retreats shamefully. Suburban Missouri, once an oasis of unity and balance, is now unkind and punishing. Ellie disappears. Every year after the filming of our documentary, we come back to Kansas City searching for the magnificent Ellie. We never find her.
This mockumentary contains real and fictional elements. Yes, Ellie really did want to be just like Sigourney Weaver when she was a child and observed nature in her treehouse. Her backyard inspired her vivid imagination, and its nature formed her personal ecology. My Squirrel Days is a metaphor for her journey from childhood through adulthood to becoming an actress and a comedian. There is not a real squirrel named Ellie. There is a real and plump squirrel named Natalie. Now that we've got that nonsense out of the way, I can tell you the facts. Elizabeth Clare Kemper was born on May 2, 1980. She attended Princeton University and played on their varsity field hockey team for 2 years. After college, she joined the Upright Citizens Brigade, an improv theater troupe in New York City. The troupe was founded by original UCB members Matt Besser, Amy Poehler, Ian Roberts, and Matt Walsh. There, she performed in numerous showcases alongside rising actors Eugene Cordero, Nate Lang, Aubrey Plaza, Jeff Hiller, Sue Galloway, and Kate McKinnon. After one of these shows, Ellie was invited to meet Lorne Michaels and audition for the late-night live television variety show Saturday Night Live. She did not get the part, however she was soon approached by Greg Daniels and Michael Schur to play the role of Erin Hannon on the NBC sitcom The Office. The Office is an adaptation of the original BBC series of the same name created by Ricky Gervais.
This is so boring. I cannot listen to another minute of this.
This is very informative.
Look at them. They're miserable.
Do you want someone else to tell it to them?
Yes, please.
Fine. How about Ellie Kemper herself?
I was at the 2010 Emmys along with the rest of the cast of The Office. It was my first awards show, and I was giddy. I wore a dark, forest green strapless gown on loan from a place called Film Fashion. I had fake eyelashes, and my hairdresser had molded my hair into a Michael Pitt coif. I was owning life, and I had no reason to apologize. Then I met Ricky Gervais. "Oh my gosh," I squealed. "It's so nice to meet you. I'm new on the show." Ricky Gervais gave me a small, polite smile and quickly nudged the woman he was with to keep walking. I wondered if I had overstepped a boundary. Ricky Gervais, of course, had created the British Office, but was I not supposed to speak to foreigners at an American awards show? It wasn't until the governor's ball, gnawing on room-temperature chicken satay and bloody filet mignon, that I learned Ricky Gervais had been spooked by our encounter. "What do you mean?" I asked BJ Novak, who had relayed the news. "He thought that you said, 'I'm you' on the show," BJ told me. I was stunned. That sentence that BJ had just repeated back to me didn't make any sense. "How could I think I was him on the show?" I cried, beef blood dribbling down my chin. "Who could ever think that they are a different person than they actually are?" It occurred to me then that this very thing, thinking you are a different person than you actually are, is precisely what actors do on a daily basis. I suddenly felt like I was going to throw up, and I excused myself to the ladies' room, where I stuffed as many mini hairsprays and lip glosses as I could into my borrowed Judith Lieber clutch, and then, head held high, made my way to the valet line.
Now can I proceed?
I guess.
Thank you. As I was saying, after playing the role of Erin for 4 seasons, The Office capped off its finale in 2012. Ellie also played the role of Becca in the 2011 film Bridesmaids. After the show wrapped up, Ellie was approached by Tina Fey and Robert Carlock to star in their new Netflix comedy show called Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Ellie happily accepted and has now played the role of Kimmy for 3 seasons. At the time of writing the book, they are about to film their 4th and final season.
Thank you for listening to our feature presentation on American actress and comedian